What's going on, everybody? So today we're going to be working on basically the parts bike, what I thought was a parts bike. Knowing now that that motor is good, it has a clean title, and it's actually a pretty clean structurally speaking bike. We're gonna go ahead and bring this one back to life too. So today we're gonna start breaking it down, taking off all the stuff on it that I don't want and I don't like. And then we're gonna see what we need to order, because I'm definitely gonna need some parts for this. So let's see what we got. Yeah, I still haven't got my other bike back from the welder yet, so we're still waiting on that. That one should be quick once we get that ball rolling. But let's see what we need on this one. So as you can see, they did this Street Fighter conversion looking like it's, you guys did a decent job, but I'm not digging it. I don't like it. So all of that's coming off. All of that front end's coming off. I know I'm gonna need a fairing stay, a headlight, whatnot. And they have this ABM handlebar. Basically, they put dirt bike handlebars on the bike, which is actually pretty cool because it gives it a lot more comfortable riding position. I think I am gonna keep those. We're gonna see how those work out. If I can get to keep these handlebars, because this bike actually is really comfortable. If I can keep these handlebars with complete fairings, they're staying. I do like them. Hopefully the wiring isn't too chopped up, but we're going to take all this off. These mirrors are hideous. They're coming off. I'm going to put the factory style mirrors to go off the fairings. The radiator, I'm going to have to double look into that, because he did add a secondary fan, but it may not be an issue. We could probably leave it. This definitely has to come off. That's not gonna fit. And the crush cage we're leaving, and then we're gonna rip into this. This light actually looks really cool. Let's see. Yeah, it's really bright. I mean, we're in the middle of the day and it's super bright, but that's not what I like. So we're gonna get in here, pull whatever code. I already know what code it is. So it does have a FI light. The FI light is for the exhaust servo, which not a big deal. I believe there's a wire in the ECU that you can just pull out of the D-pin it, and it should be good to go. But everything else looks good. So no leaks on my stator cover, which is great. And it should still turn on. So let's see. Cool. So FI, it's FI. It's not F1. I don't know why people say F1. I mean, I know why it looks like a number one, but it's FI. It's fault indicator. It's kind of annoying you hear F1, but regardless, we know what you're talking about. But we're gonna get the bike loaded on the lift, stripped down of all the Street Fighter parts, and then start making a list so we can start ordering parts and get this thing looking right. We got it on the lift. We're using the middle level. I don't need it way up here. So working generally in this area and this area. So let's go ahead and get started on the tail section, because I feel like that's going to be more interesting as far as what we find. Up front is probably just taking crap off, but let's get this tail section off. Let's see. May not need that. I'm glad they use packing or masking tape, or painter's tape, because that way it doesn't leave a lot of residue It's easy to get off. For whatever reason, I guess they wanted to tidy it up or maybe protect the wires from elements, but don't know. Long hair, don't care. We're gonna get it off. Holy moly, okay, I haven't seen those on a motorcycle, that's cool. That's one way to do it. Alright. I'm glad that those bolts are in here because I have the rear subframe section for this bike. Yeah, when I bought the bike, the guy was like, "Hey man, I got these parts. Do you want them?" I said, "Absolutely, bud." And sure enough, give me like $300-400 worth of extra parts. So very good experience. The guy was super nice. Kind of had some mutual friends. It was kind of small world situation, but I don't think he realized that this bike was gonna be that easy to fix. So one man's trash is another man's treasure. He wrote the bike off, and I'm gonna give her some life. Starting to get a little nervous about that. Looks like they cut the under tray. I may need a new under tray. Still holds. That's not the right screw. It works. Yeah, Phillips head number 3 of all things for the seat. That is incorrecto, as far as I know. And it's super long. Alright, the guy did say it had a newish battery on it. Figure out what this is for. For a battery tender. So this is to pull the FI light. We can go ahead and pull it right now just so we can see and verify. Alright, so my boy Weecho gave me this. It is basically a female dummy plug. So to pull the FI light on this jigsaw, you have to ground these 2 last wires together. Basically, you have to jump them. This little female dummy plug does that for us. So it's on. Not reading any codes. Okay, well, now it's not reading any code, so we're gonna continue getting into this. This is just all so disgusting. Oh wow, okay, so they made their own little harness. I mean, they did a decent little job. It's fairly clean, but far from factory. So that's pretty cool. I mean, like their own little harness here. So we're gonna disconnect all of that. Okay, so I may need the rear tail harness, and then all this stuff is coming off, so it's probably like a 17. That's good. That looks good. So these were cool lights because these, whatever turn signals they used were like brake / turn signals. They're pretty cool. So I'm probably gonna hang on to these if I can. Try and cut them off nicely. Save as much of that light as I can. Not be using it for this project. Whoever did this showed some kind of love while doing it. Can't hate him on that. Okay. This little light. They're actually true Wagos. 221s, that's cool. Okay. Cool light. Okay, and our resistor. So hang on to these things. That's cleaned up. I'm really thinking I need this. What? So this is my rear subframe that he also gave me. Maybe it'll make this look more like a bike. Let's go ahead and get these off. 12s and 6. she is already starting to look more like a real bike, but yeah, this is probably gonna have to get replaced. Battery tray, but I think that's all we can do right now for the rear end. So let's move up front. So up front, like I said, we got this weird Street Fighter contraption thing going on. I have a bunch of wiring that I can just snap off. Got zip ties, wiring, and the bolts that usually are for the upper fairing bracket are what holding on this headlight assembly. So these lights are actually really cool. Hold on to those. Again, holding on to the turn signals. They're white, but they're fine. And let's just see what we can get into. I'm gonna start cutting these things. Bottom, and now it should come off. Alright. Oh man, this is ugly. I may want to just replace this entire wiring harness because, yeah, that, not liking that. Disgusting. So pull it out of the gauges up here. Okay. More life. Alright. She gone. Cool attempt, but no. Oh, okay. So these are the turn signals from the mirrors. Like I said, I do not like those mirrors, so maybe we can do it nicely. Let's see. Yeah, I don't care. We're cutting it. There's plenty of wire on that. Okay. That's that. That is that. Okay, so this harness goes here. I don't know if y'all remember on the other bike, this is the one that was not holding together at all. So I can compare these two. But yeah, we're definitely missing some plugs and whatnot. So not in love with it. So I don't think these harnesses are too expensive, so I might just go ahead and replace that because I don't want this bike being that raggedy. But okay, so there's some mounts right here that mount this. Let's see. Yeah, so there's some mounts. Let's get this key out of the way. These mounts, I mean, the guy who put this together, he was very intelligent. I mean, he made stuff pretty decently. Has these little brackets that hold it on to these mirror mounts, but I'm going to take those off because I'm not going to be using those. Alright, pretty cool, and I'm glad that these tabs are still together. Good. Go ahead and get rid of this other stuff too that I'm not going to be using. I don't know why this thing's so damn sensitive. One more thing. This looks like tins. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're starting to see a little bit of life to this thing. Damn, look at this trip. So, new harness, probably. Fairing stay bracket, headlight, all that good stuff. Handlebars, we're going to try and keep them. And we got the tail section on. Alright, that's awesome. That's gonna do it for this video. It's just a tear down. I'm gonna go ahead and get parts ordered. I'm waiting for my buddy to order my fairing set. As soon as that comes in, I may have to wait a little bit because of the color I want, but it's nothing crazy. But I'm excited. Yeah, hopefully we get the other bike back, and the next one will be either working on the other bike or possibly my Grom, because I do have parts for the Grom to put on. So as always, I appreciate you guys. See you on the next one.